All right. Just waiting for Instagram to connect. And bang. Just like that. We are in there. Live on Instagram. What's good, family? Been a minute since I've gone live on a Monday. Just in the grind of everything, right? Getting things situated. Hey, what's going on, Shavavian? It's good to see you. It's always good, always good. Got a couple people hanging out with us tonight. Need to verify a couple of things. Let's make sure that I got everything right, because sometimes I don't be getting it right. There we go. Let's get that. Let's get that right. Get that right. Got that right. Boom. All right. So, hey. Comments are coming in. Let me see what we got. What's going on? Mrs. Allister, it's good to see you. Just live on a Monday night, getting some things situated. Dang, there's no water in this. I was hoping to take a drink. All right. There's a couple of you guys hanging out with us already. Numbers are climbing. Let me know what y'all up to, man. What y'all working on tonight? What y'all got going on? I've got some toys. One or two toys that I'm playing with. This is the old school Hollyland Lark M1. That's the M1. So yeah, it still does the job, but the M2 is just so, it's like light years away from the M1. It's light years away from the M1, so it's not even fair. Okay, the man mindset is on the live, and they are saying, are you using StreamYard? No, I am not. This is Ecamm Live. Ecamm Live Pro is what I'm using currently. What's good, Sam? Always good to have you come through. So overdue. We're so overdue for a conversation, bro. Every time I see your content, I'm like, this guy is killing the game. But yeah, I cover a lot of StreamYard content on the channel here. But I do not, for my own purposes, I use Ecamm because I have a Mac computer. So Ecamm just definitely does better for me. I see some comments are coming in now. Always love that. Always love that. Golden Spear says, hi, Golden Spear. What's good with you? My guy, Charles Rogers. What's good, sir? I missed you guys by like 10, 15 minutes this past Saturday, like 10, 15 minutes. Yeah. What you about to talk about? So I'm making a slight pivot. I'm making a little bit of a change, just a little bit of a change. Dorian, what's good, sis? It's always good to have you come through. Okay, you connect to Instagram. Yo, you connected Instagram fast. Well, so that's another reason why I like Ecamm, is because it's really not much. Not much to be able to shift or bring on Instagram. And I've got comments coming in as well. Let me see here. So she says, what you about to talk about? All right. And he's making a pivot. So I said, I'm making a pivot. You said into coaching. Oh, I've long been doing coaching, but what I'm about to pivot into, so she said, sign me up. Let's go. Say less, sis. The link is in the description. KirkRNugent.live/book me. That's going to get you where you need to be. Where's my, let me get my, is that what that looks like? All right. Yeah, I am making a pivot, a slight pivot. All right, I just put it on the screen on the side there. Let's get started. Sorry, you connected to IG fast. My bad. No word. Yeah. So all right, let me deal with a couple of different comments coming in here. Everybody's kind of doing their thing, which is great. I love it. Always good to see it. Let's get some comments on screen. So there you go. So now the comments are on the screen right there. So that makes it a little easier for me. Hey. All right. Yeah. So I have I have been doing content coaching for a couple of years now, remote production, remote producing, podcasts, live shows for clients, for churches, for, so many different people, in so many different niches, so many different brands. It has been an amazing, amazing experience. I've learned a ton. I actually got a chance to even do some work with, what's the name of the company? VidIQ. I even got a chance to do some work with vidIQ and coach people in their coaching program. I was one of the vidIQ coaches. I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with vidIQ and TubeBuddy. These are platforms that you can use as a YouTube creator to really get some more in-depth information out of the algorithm, out of the back end of your channel. So got a chance to do that for a little bit. Didn't stay in that program very long because there's some conflicts in terms of time, but it opened my eyes and I doubled down on coaching from my own perspective, from my own standpoint. In fact, I have a show on Wednesdays called The Coaching Corner with Kirk. And I really enjoy that show. It's one of my favorite shows to do. But one of the things that I'm realizing, and it has been a slow realization, as I was closing out the year 2024, I began to really take a look at some things, began to really assess some things, began to really say, okay, what would a change look like? What can I innovate? What can I take to the next level in this next season as I get ready to launch into 2025. So I even talked to my family about possibly making some changes to the way that I do my content and incorporating some very specific things in there from video to video. But I just didn't, I don't know. I was on the fence about it, so I left it. But over the course of the past week and change, maybe even more, there's just been a series of things happening that you kind of just recognize, like, okay, that's actually much easier. Like, that actually makes better sense. That actually flows like right off of the tongue. It's a lot more natural. And what I'm referring to is the specific audience that I am speaking to when I create my content. Right now, I'm mostly focused on coaches, authors, consultants, entrepreneurs, content entrepreneurs, anybody who wants to grow and engage an audience, anybody who wants to funnel clients to their business, anybody that wants to establish themselves as a thought leader in a given space, especially those who want to serve an audience and serve them well from their lived experience, sharing from their own story. Those are the types of people that I seek to work with. I always find it very beneficial. I produced a podcast for a new client today, and she is a former pastor. You know, you're never a former pastor, but anyway, she's not full-time pastoring currently, but she pastored for, 15 plus years. And so needed a new producer for her podcast because her son, who was producing it before, is just busy. And so I got a chance to chat with her and talk to her about a number of different things. And in the course of our chatting, I shared with her that I serve as media pastor at my church. And she was like, I knew there was something. She said, I did not know you were a pastor, but I knew there was something about you. I knew there was something different. I don't know what it, but my spirit said this was the producer, because I wanted somebody that kind of got me, kind of got what I'm doing. I didn't have to explain a whole lot to, and I felt like I was getting that from you. But now that you've said that, you have confirmed that that's what it is, that you're a person of faith, you're a believer, and there's just a whole series of things that we can talk about now. And for sure, just that one little share completely opened the door, and it made for a much smoother flow in terms of onboarding her into my system. And then we've got a couple of shows that we're going to be producing for her. It's going to be absolutely awesome. And it, to me, was confirmation that that's something I need to lead with. And to be clear, it's not that I've ever hidden it. In fact, right on the banner on my YouTube page, it says coach, pastor, producer, right? It's just, that's literally, it says it on there. It doesn't say that now. We just changed it out, but it's been saying that for years. So it's not like it's something that I have hidden, but it's just not something I actually lead with, not necessarily something that I've put as part of my target audience, that I'm really wanting to work with creators of faith. Even though I have worked with creators of faith, I haven't exclusively worked with creators of faith. And I want to make one quick distinction. Creators of faith don't necessarily mean that the content that they're putting out is faith-based content. It just means that the person themselves is purpose-driven. The person themselves is a person of faith, a believer, but not necessarily that the content itself is faith-based content. So even in the case of this lady, we were talking about AI and talking about Black history. That was the episode that I was producing for her today. So, you know, there are ways for creators of faith to be able to put out content in the video world, but not necessarily have to be preaching. I hope that resonates. I hope that makes sense with somebody out there today. You don't have to preach to be a creator of faith. I hope that you get that part. You don't have to. It doesn't have to be a sermon. It doesn't have to have an appeal for you to be a creator of faith. You can be a believer. You can be a person of faith, but you can put out content that is completely in your wheelhouse, in your bag, doing your own thing. And I see several of you in the chat today who fall into that very same category. What's going on, Dr. Otang? What's going on, Tunde? Olan is on the live. Anytime I go live on Instagram, I always see my guy Tunde come through. I hope that you're doing well. Hope that you're doing well. Ha! The Man Mindset fam, the camera cuts are mad dope. Listen, I am excited to be able to share a number of things. Oh, Plush Live Media. I see the hands in the air. I see you waving at me. Your boy Charles says it's clear as mud. That means I'm not doing a good job. Clear as mud. But my thing is simply from a working an operations standpoint, I've found more success producing shows, creating graphics, and doing content coaching with people who are believers than I have found outside of that space. That said, I have some current clients and current people that I'm working with that are not believers, and I love them. So it isn't an either or, but I am going to make this slight pivot of ensuring that I'm front loading to those who are coming to my platforms that I am a person of faith and that I like working with people of faith. And so hopefully that becomes clear. Why is that, do you think? I just believe that there's something, I don't know, spirit speaks to spirit. I think there's, I did a consult session for a gentleman who does magic. And as we kept on talking, it became clear that he not only did magic, he was into some of the black arts. And I was just kind of like, we're two ships passing in the night. So while I could give him general coaching tactics and tips, while I could share with him how to interpret the algorithm, there's a whole component of how I coach and where I come from from a content perspective, because I believe we all have a purpose, because I believe we all have a calling that is placed on our life, because I believe those things. Those pieces are not pieces that resonate with clients who are not people of faith. And so it isn't a either or, it's just gaining clarity that I might work better. It's not necessarily a rule, but because I'm a person of faith, I might work better with somebody who is a person of faith. Sharona is on the live. Always good to have my sister from another mister on the live. Listen, that's a lot of bridge folk out here tonight. Charles, thank you so much for letting me. I thought for sure, I was like, yo, I bombed that. Your voice said it's clear as mud. Oh, my word. Greetings from Vancouver. What's going on, sis? Thank you so much. Plush Live Media says, yeah, kingdom first. That was a test and you passed. Yeah. Appreciate it. But no, there's something to be said for that. So one of the changes I made to the website, right there on the top of the page, is video resources for creators of faith from Coach Kirk. And I modified the sub tagline to say live video resources and training from a media pastor could be just what you're looking for. And so it's going to be interesting, y'all. Sharona, if you watch this video long enough, you're going to see yourself on there. But it could be interesting. But I want to say that it is something that I have never fully embraced both aspects. I've always, whenever I get a chance to coach somebody who's a person of faith, I almost always feel like the shackles are off and I can just kind of talk freely and I can just kind of share. When I'm coaching somebody or working with somebody who's not a person of faith, it's not that we can't engage. It's not that we don't have fun. And I do, believe me. I mean, I have some diehard supporters and followers here on the channel that are not people of faith, and I love them just the same. And we can chop it up. We can rock together. We can. Oh my gosh! I was about to do a show with a guy named Stefan Lubinsky. Audience Builders is the name of the platform that we're putting together. We've since decided to kind of go our separate ways. He is building it on his own now. We could not be more different, but we have this connection, this vibe. We're both OCD, both very particular in the way that we do our things. Both believe that live video is the ultimate cheat code. And so there's so much synergy in terms of what we do, but we're very, very different. And so I think that there are instances and cases where you want to have that diversity, you want to have those differences, but then other times where it's just, man, it just makes it simpler. Listen, just stop asking for discounts. Come on, JJS Tech. I love it. Let me see what else we got here. Sharona's on the live. Love it. Let me see what we got here. Charles says, do you think we would work as well together if what you are saying wasn't true? Do you think we would work as well together? I just believe, Charles, that you and I are kindred spirits. And I believe that there are people out there that you just naturally work with. There are times where when me and Charles were working together, I would be thinking, oh, I know what Charles is going to do next. And he would be doing the same. So I don't know. I don't know that it's because we're people of faith or because we're from the Caribbean. See, I think for us, Charles, there's so many layers of what we have in common. We both went to Andrews University. You know what I'm saying? Like there's just so many different layers. We've gotten a chance to chat at length about our backgrounds and our stories, our pitfalls and our mistakes. We're not going to say those on the live though. And just, we just really kind of bonded at a level that I don't know that many others get to. During the pandemic, we got a chance to work together very closely week to week. And so I think that's the reason why we work together. Plus, I think we both just are in a relentless pursuit of better and more and doing it more efficient. And and we're both IT and media. I think there's just a lot of synergy between the two of us. So I think it's more than just that we both are believers. I think there's so much other pieces that mesh our stories together. And this is the cheat code, I want to say, to anybody that's out there. When you know who you are, when you know what your profile is, you now know you have a window into how to speak to that particular audience, the audience that mirrors your profile, that mirrors your experience. And because you can speak so specifically to that audience, you can serve them well. And so that's one of the things I'm just trying to add in, all those components. All my ADHD folk, you know what I'm saying? All my OCD folk, you know what I'm saying? All my people who are so particular, who have to just have it just so, right? You can't just look around me, y'all. Like this is not for show. This is how the room is at almost at all times, because I'm just that way. So, oh, there's Sharona. You see Sharona, you're right there. Oh, it's gone now, but you're in that video. All right, let me see what Sharona's talking about. She says, that's so interesting. I love working with that type of client. I usually am able to resonate with them and help them along the journey and have more impact. There's something to be said for recognizing that in yourself and just kind of getting a little closer to that profile that you are uniquely or even sometimes unfairly qualified to serve. So it's great. JJ Sex says, I get more calls from faith-based businesses because I'm faith-based myself. The lady said to me today, I didn't see it on your website. I didn't go looking for it, but there's just something, like I watched a couple of the videos. You didn't say anything in the videos about being a person of faith, but there's just something about the way you carry yourself, something about the spirit that I was receiving as I was watching the videos that just said to me, this is the guy that I need to produce my show. And that is something I was like, listen, I don't even want people to have to do the gymnastics. I want people to know, boom, I'm for them. Right. But I also say that there are some faith-based clients that I have worked with that did not go well either. So it isn't a, one size fits all, but sometimes just getting a one step closer to that ideal audience is super critical. So that's the pivot. That's the pivot that I'm making. It's a very slight pivot. It's not a big pivot, but I am making it nonetheless. I'm going to do even more. Yes. I love this. Listen, I love when Sharon is on the live. I love when my people are on the live. Yes, JJS Tech, we need to put this on a t-shirt. Stop asking for discounts. Church folk, we can't be doing that, y'all. Don't do that. I love you're embracing that part of yourself fully. Knowing where you're effective and free makes the difference. That right there is critical. That's critical. That is critical. That is critical. Like when I can say to a coaching client, I think you really need to see God on this one, right? That joint, that's a whole different level, y'all. When I can't say that, and I'm having to say in my mind, all right, Kirk, you're gonna have to pray for this. Because to be clear, regardless of a person's faith-based or not, I pray for my coaching clients. I pray for each and every one of them, whether they are people of faith or not. I pray for each and every one of them. But for those who are believers, I simply just say right there in the session, yo, we're gonna have to see God on this. I'm not certain we got two really good options in front of us. Not really certain which way. We might have to just kind of do a couple of pieces of content this way and do a couple of other pieces of content this way and just see how it works out. And there's a freedom. So I hear you so much on that, Sharona. There's such a freedom when that happens. Such a freedom when that happens. Okay, let me go back to this shot right here. Such a freedom when that happens. All right, I would love to work with you. I'm about to start my podcast. Oh, come on. Listen, say less. Hit that link in the comment section. Hit that link in the comment section and let's make it happen. Let me go back to the screen. Screen, does that work? It did. My Stream Deck buttons, I didn't configure them well, so I wasn't sure if it was going to work. Okay, I would love to work with you, and I'd love to work with you as well. Sharon says, because why aren't you, me, Charles, and Daniel together anymore? Say that 20 more times. Like that, I so miss those days. I so miss those days. Those days were absolutely dope. Y'all are having a whole conversation here. Yes, y'all are both perfectionists and dreamers. This is exactly right. Even when y'all get it right, you still dreaming of more. That's why we resonate. I feel like that's why Charles and I really do work well together. So there's no doubt about it. The OCD is actually off the chart when the two of us are together. So it's a little bit much. Sharona dropping bombs, but I want to say this, Plush Life Media, man, hit up this page that you see on the screen right now. and just click that link right there that says book me. It's going to take you to this page right here. You can grab a discovery call, or you can just scroll to the bottom and just hit up and do coaching. So it's totally up to you. Everything is on the page. I mean, literally everything is on the page. You can do the discovery call. That's right there at the top. There's a video there that kind of goes into some detail in terms of some of the services that we have. But like I said, I have been very intentional about making making this pivot. So even if you look at some of the things that are on here, going live changes lives. That's a t-shirt that's coming soon. Let's go back here. Let's go to 3 cams. I got to find this link. Boom, 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 boom. And then I got to show you something. Charles, I hope you can hang around for a second. I mean, everybody, I hope everybody can hang around for a second, but I definitely want to show, there's something that I was hoping to show. Well, hold on. So I am getting my merch page back up and running. It is not 100% yet, but it will be in the next week or so. I'm going to be doing a full launch for that. So How It All Works merch page. This is just a preview of it. Is not live yet, but this is coming soon. And you can see some of the t-shirts that are there. This is why, another reason why I'm like, nah, I just need to go ahead and make it official, because this is just the way I live. All right, so you got right there, answer a question, be consistent, be vulnerable. That's one t-shirt. Here's one. Your live stream is your digital storefront. That's another. Here's another. Going live changes lives. Here's another. Ask me why I go live. Here's another. Live streaming is a glimpse of omnipresence. Okay, so How It All Works one right there. We don't do humble on the live. All right, so those are a couple of t-shirts that are there, and you can see some of them in the section there. And then the rest of it is just YouTube videos. Oh snap, it's got the one where I'm live right now. But YouTube videos are here, and then it has some Instagram stuff there as well. So that's what that page is looking like right now. Oh, I'm gonna go ahead and kill that page. And then of course you got the How It All Works page. But anyway, these are just a couple of things that I wanted to showcase. Let's go back to the 3 cams. Right, so let me make sure I got my comments here first. Yes, y'all are both. We got that one. We got that one before. Hey, Geraldine is on the live. What's going on, sis? Thank you so much for being with us today. Always good to have you. Anthony T. Ladson. This is my time. This is my experience. I love it. Thank you for being with us. Park Braz is on the live. What up? What up, man? I needed to check my clock. What Kirk doing on at this time? I'm looking at this screen. I should have just looked over here to see your comment, Park Braz. But yeah, I'm on a little later than I normally do. But Flush Life Media, I really hope you take me up on that. I really would love to work with you. Open right now to working with new clients. Definitely looking to kind of grow where that's concerned. Speaking of pivoting, Sony FX35 instead of BMPCC. Yes to the Sony FX35. Yes, and yes. Yes. Hey, just finished editing my music for my channel, my lyrics, AI arrangement, my time music. Come on, Anthony. I love it. Whoa. Let me read this one over here, because this is an epistle. So let me see. Sharona says, I get. Oh yeah, okay. Let me read it over here. Okay, yeah, it's not that bad. I get the prophets, witches, magicians, healers, etc. And I love working with people who can turn snakes to serpents. I just like seeing whose serpents consume whose, and then we can have the conversation I love about faith in God. But I also grew up in a city where all of that was normal, and I saw people's limbs grow back of prayer and stuff flying around rooms because of what in the world. I'm missing stuff here because of other powers. I'm like, let's just see who's more powerful. LOL. Man, you listen, you've lived some kind of life. Gerson Parcarbo is on the live. The pivot, love the new setup. That back camera is great. Love the depth. Thank you. Thank you, Gerson. Always good to have you on the live. Hey, but let's talk about your sleeping habits, because why are you always launching something? LOL. I'm always launching something, that's for sure. I mean, sticks into serpents. Yeah. Of course, I just read it the way that I saw it. But so I want to show you this real quick. This is a feature of the beta version of Ecamm Live, right? So this shot right here that you're looking at, which is my top down shot, is the Insta360 Link. I'm going to change my other camera. We're going to change this camera. We're going to change this camera from this to this. Yeah. All right. So this is another shot, Charles. This is actually one of the cameras that we used to use at the bridge. Sony A7 II, and it's sitting on the bookcase right behind me, essentially. And so it is it's a dope camera. I love this. I love this shot, and I love the fact that y'all can still see me over here, but I can look this way and have this joint like this. So I love this. I don't know why I didn't think about doing this before, but one of the things that I added to the studio is the switcher. She should do a testimony vid. Yes. Zoom without cropping. Come on, Ernesto. Zoom without cropping? Question mark. Yeah. Well, I don't know if that was what you were talking about, but I'm going to get to it in a second. So one of the things I added to my setup is a Black Magic Deck Link quad card, right? That's one of the things I added to my setup very recently. So I'm going to showcase this in just a second. If I can find it, I think I found it. And here we go. So let's get to the screen. Boom. So this is what I added to the setup. This guy right here, along with this card right here. So these two are what I added to the setup. And what it does, it replaces all my capture cards. So instead of having a capture card for every camera that I wanted to use, I now can have all these cameras plugged into this box, and then lightning from this box, or I should say, sorry, Thunderbolt from this box over to my M4 Mac Mini. So that has been a game changer. This is not a new thing. It's just new to my studio for sure. Need the link to the Ecamm training. That quad card is dope. Yeah, doc. No. Now, so that is one piece, and that has absolutely revolutionized my entire setup. So right now I can change from this camera to this camera. This is my Sony A6000 in the back right there, and it's a 30mm lens. I love that thing. If you look at that bokeh, like look at that bokeh, it's so milky. All right, I'm gonna get out of the way for a second, and then you can kind of see the podcast setup for Incubator's Couch that Kanika and I will be doing. So you can kind of see that in the background right there, because the camera will focus on it if I'm not in the shot. But once I get back in the shot, it blurs everything out again. That's another thing that we were doing in the studio, is just kind of rebuilding things so that I could get multiple spaces in here. I need to be looking up there. So that is so far we've looked at camera number one, which is my main camera. That's the Sony A6400 with the 16mm Sigma lens, and that is sitting behind the Elgato prompter, so I can see your comments and everything right here. Kirk gets new gear and actually uses it. This is what I do. Listen, I'm putting it to work immediately. So this is my primary camera. What's going on, Darius? Okay. And then this is my secondary camera. It's a tighter shot, so you don't see, waist up, you don't see the desk or anything, but I can just shift my eye right there, and boom, we're on that camera. Then I can go to this camera, which is the top down shot. More on that in just a second, but this is the top down shot. And then I have the turnaround shot. What's good, family? It's always good to be with you. And then I have the BTS shot, right? That's the wider shot, and that's just a Logitech C920. That's all that camera is. So 3 of the cameras are plugged into the Sonnet Echo it's Thunderbolt expansion box, plugged into the Blackmagic Design Deck Link quad card. So that is what I'm currently using. So now that we have that out of the way, I'm going to go back to this top down shot. uh, it's always interesting when I don't see any of my moderators in the chat. So just going to go ahead and take a second to delete the detractor myself. You know, it happens. It happens to the best of us. You're not even saying anything unless you have some detractors, right? Real talk. Plus, I'm doing this as a vertical live on YouTube, so you already know I'm in the shorts feed, which means that you get a lot more than you probably bargained for. All right, so go to my channel, and boom, now I'm on the live right there. And boom, we'll do that. And bang, done. So that takes care of that. Detractors be gone. All right. I'm adding a similar setup to church so they can do linear key lower thirds from Pro Presenter. Ooh, that's going to be nice. That's going to be really nice. Hey, Kirk. Hey, fam. Kirk, I am in your city tonight. Haven't been to Huntsville in a while. Oh, my word. That's crazy. You're in Huntsville? Darius, bro. Drop me a message. Drop an email to info@howitallworks.com right now if you can, Darius. Okay, and I'll hit you back. Hopefully you're not going to be leaving town too quickly. All right, and I know you guys have been looking at this top down shot for a while, so I apologize on that. So this top down shot, I wish I could show you what I'm about to do in Ecamm, but I can control the entire camera using Ecamm now. So I'm just going to go to preset number 2 and hit recall. And guess what? I'm here, guys. What up? I'm going to go to preset number 3 and hit recall. Now you can see what that camera looks like over there, and that there's a big screen on it that allows me to turn around and actually speak to you guys. Then I can listen. Ecamm is now controlling. Let me go back to preset number 2. The recall. Ecamm is now controlling this PTZ camera natively, no software. As soon as I plug in this PTZ camera, Ecamm is controlling it. Like I'm just gonna take this camera right now, move it. Like I'm calling in presets, but I don't have to. Like this don't even make no sense. They have, oh gosh. I'm going to go to preset number 4, hit recall. It shows the other side of the studio. And go back to preset number 1, hit recall, and we're back to the top down shot. Like that in and of itself is bananas. And so questions. In this scene here, because this scene is a full camera scene, I can just switch between my cameras just like that. I don't have to click anything. I can just use the Stream Deck to switch between my cameras. And yeah, it has made a world of difference. And you can imagine for production, for video recording, when I'm sending my videos that I record for YouTube to my video editor, now he has 2 additional angles that he can pull from because I'm recording all 3 at the same time. It is absolutely crazy. It is absolutely crazy. Live stream issues, but we appreciate it. No. So Ernesto, talk to me, man. Oh yeah. Hey, listen. It's all good. It's all good. There's always some detractors. Boss man, your bokeh is at Tom Buck's level. Man, this camera, let me go back to that camera. Let me go back to it. Let's go to this one. Let's hide that comment. This camera, if I can find it, let me go to, this camera, the 30 millimeter lens, that 30 millimeter lens is stupid. Like Charles, that 30, the recall thing is the ish. Yes, it is. And here's the thing. Every one of those presets, Charles, I can add to the Stream Deck. Okay. Oh, I'm pulling it the wrong way. I can add those presets to the Stream Deck. And so I can hit that the quote unquote, the whole recall thing. I only do that because I'm actually using the mouse to pull up that particular angle. But I can hit that particular button here on the Stream Deck and have the camera move to that particular space. It's madness. It's wild. And that's just one of the features. Now, Charles is my guy. He's an audio guy. And so Charles, it's amazing new features in Ecamm. Is it only for PTZ cameras? So no, that's a really good question. It's for any webcam. It is for any webcam. So let me hide your comment real quick, Geraldine. All right, so you're seeing this camera in the middle, right? The one that shows the back of me. That camera is a Logitech C920. It's a webcam. It's a simple webcam, and it's got a little flicker to it. It is what it is. That camera also has a whole dialog box that allows me to control it. So if I want to zoom in on that camera, I can zoom in. I can zoom. All of this is being done with Ecamm. These are windows that are sitting on my desktop without having to even try. So I have 2 presets on this one. So that's one, and the other is just the main, the main one, the wider one. So you have the option to control any webcam in the same way. Now, with the webcam, of course, there's not the pan and the tilt, but you can at least zoom. You can zoom in and out, and you can control that with the controller for any of these webcams that you have in Ecamm. So it's a game changer, y'all. It's a game changer. It's a game changer. It's a game changer. What y'all saying over there? Yeah, it's a game changer. I'm having way too much fun with this thing. But yeah, that's one feature. Okay. I think I got a little bit of time, so I'm gonna try and show y'all one more feature, especially Charles. Anybody who's into audio, I'm just trying to figure out how can I showcase this. If I go to live demo mode, yeah, it's bananas. Okay, what do you guys see? When I go to live demo mode, I have no idea what you're seeing right now. I'm waiting for it to catch up on my phone so I can see what you guys are seeing. Yeah, it's taking its own sweet time. But anyway, 18 of you guys are on the live. 2 people hit the laugh button. That's hilarious. 7 people hit the like button. 2 people hit the heart button. So thank you all for your, look at that. It shows, wow, it actually shows everything, even in vertical. That's crazy. You can't really see because it's so tiny, but okay. So I'm in live demo mode. And while you might not be able to see it, I'm going to try and zoom in a little bit. So here, the Ecamm tiles. Yeah. So here is the sound levels, Charles, and anyone else that's watching. Here's the sound levels, right? Sound levels are here. What you now have is this little icon right here that says show audio filters. Show audio filters. So when I click on that, this audio filters screen comes up, and here now I'm able to hit the plus sign, and I need to select which mic I'm gonna put my effects on, right? So you have apply effects to specific channels or entire mix. So I'm gonna keep it on specific channels. I'm gonna leave it on my main mic, and now I can just click on plugin. Now all these plugins are here: bandpass, distortion, dynamic processor, graphic EQ, all of these are here now, built into Ecamm. And the other thing is, now I have the old school Rodecaster Pro, right? The first version. If I had the second version, it would be showing me every, like, it would be like, y'all, let me come out of it. It would be showing me literally every input that the Rodecaster Pro is sending me. Let me go back to here. It would be showing me every single input that the Rodecaster Pro is sending me. Like when I say every, I'm talking about mic 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It will show me mic 1. It'll show me left and right. And then you can actually in Ecamm route where you want that to go. Left and right. It is bananas. The level of granular control that you can have on your mix inside of this upcoming version. Now I'm running the beta version of Ecamm right now. So if you're looking and if you're in your regular version of Ecamm and you're trying to find this, you're not going to find it because it's in the beta version. So I'm running the beta version tonight. And in that beta version, that's the level of control that you have just inside Ecamm. It's absolutely crazy to me. All right. Let me see what JJ says. Can you add third-party VSTs though? I haven't tried it yet. I might do a live testing them. Yeah, I think you should. I don't have, like I said, not at home at least. I have the Rodecaster Pro 2 at Breath of Life, the media ministry where I work, and at my church, Oakwood University Church. I have the Rodecaster Pro 2 in both of those instances, and I have the Rodecaster Pro 2 in multiple different client studios around the city that I often play with. So I'm very familiar with the Rodecaster Pro 2, but I have the Rodecaster Pro 1 and I don't have a real need to upgrade, except now I want to see what this all looks like. So maybe I might actually be in the marketplace for an upgrade. Nobody tell Kanik. All right. But the whole point is that, yeah, if you do the test, please do not only test if you can add VSTs, also test if you can, what types of feeds you get from the Rodecaster Pro 2 when in your audio levels from Ecamm, when your sound levels, what are some of the things you see there? Okay, I will test with Waves VSTs. Yes, do it. If you're gonna test anytime soon, I'll jump on and I'll just jump in the comment section and see what you got going on. Does that? I'm just so intrigued. I've just been playing with the beta version over the last couple of days. I'm almost at the point where I'm like, I don't really want to use anything other than the beta. I'm like, I really don't want to open up the regular version anymore. I just want to use the beta version because there's just so much robust functionality that they've added to it. So I know what I've shared is really just two of the big items that they added to the beta version. They've added some significant functionality in Zoom, or with the integration for Zoom, that makes that whole thing a lot more smooth, a lot more seamless. They've got a feature for active speaker. So you can actually add the active speaker to a placeholder inside Ecamm, and you can just have the active speaker next to you in your Ecamm window, streaming out to the world or streaming back into Zoom, and you have your whole thing spotlighted or pinned. It's madness. Okay, I feel my help coming. Geraldine says I only use Ecamm beta. I'm not even playing around with the full version. I'm using beta from now on. So yeah, for sure. Live motion had me hooked on the beta, and I'm now. So let me show you what he means. But what do you mean by live motion? Okay, let me go to video. I'm gonna change my default transition to live motion. So I've just changed my default transition to live motion, and so here is live motion in action. We're gonna see this together. All right, so I moved to here, and I'm gonna move back. Nothing happened. Let's go to this one. All right, so that you can kind of see live motion there. Oh, you know what it is? I have a different camera here. You do have to have the same camera. Okay, so let's try this again. Let's go to here. Boom. So that's live motion in action. You can see how it kind of moves things around. So I can come to here. I can go to here. I can go to here. In these, my camera doesn't really change much. But if I go from here to here, you can see how that live motion looks. And even here with the cameras that on the bottom as they move around, the whole concept is that as you move around your cameras, okay, that's it. As you move around your cameras, you that one, I think I did that incorrectly. Anyway, but as you move around your cameras, it says camera D, camera E. Yes, that's the right one. It will shift things around. Yeah. I need to become a video guy. You got me hooked. Nice. How can I get this beta? Yo, Ecamm beta. You just go to the beta website. ecammlive.com/beta. ecamm.com/beta. Oh, let me go to the screen. And screen it is. So ecamm.com/beta. And, only thing I'll say is for anybody that is going to try out the beta, just keep in mind, it is a beta version. It's a beta version for a reason. I'm comfortable with using the beta as it is. But if you find some quibble or quirk in the beta version, don't go to the main group or even to support and be like, hey, there's an issue with it. You got to go into the beta group on Facebook and tell them this is what the issue is. Yes, Charles. Yes, Charles. Yes. And this is why we work so well together, because in my mind, every time I think about some of the functionality that's being added to this thing, it's like, it's not even fair. Like, I saw a guy using live motion in the beta group where he had Zoom and, the whole Zoom gallery, kind of perspective angled off to the side and kind of coming in behind him. And he was able to live motion things. Oh, it was just so absolutely crazy. It's just amazing what people are able to do with this joint. I love it. I love it. I love it. Park Bra says, what I need to start doing is hiding the other cams and items in the scenes that they're not in. Then when things move, they also shrink and hide. Yes, that's one way of doing it. But I do like I believe that you are taxing your machine if you have a bunch of cameras just sitting in the background at all times. But it is what it is. Hopefully we'll get some of that horsepower back, depending on what we're doing. But yeah, this thing is absolutely over. The B-roll will be next level too. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. See, Charles, man, Charles. It's yeah. There's no there's no shortage of opportunities and ideas that you can do with this joint. I'm going back to my screen real quick. I love that live motion. And yeah, y'all, listen, like these are the two right here that has really enabled me to take my camera game to the next level. Because not being able to have all those cameras connected, I did not buy any new cameras. I want to say that I didn't buy any new cameras. I've always had these cameras. I just couldn't connect them all at the same time. So the camera that's back here, the Sony A6000, this is camera B. So this was my top down shot. So this was the camera that was here pointing towards the desk. So the one that you see right here, this camera, I couldn't plug it up because I had too many cameras USB plugged into the computer. So I couldn't plug this camera up. This one, the top down one that you're seeing my hand in right now, couldn't plug it up. So it was just sitting on top of what is this thing called again? Teleprompter, the Elgato prompter. So it was just sitting on top of the Elgato prompter, not doing anything, collecting dust. A whole camera, and it's a 4K camera. Like, this is the Insta360 Link. It is a great camera, really good camera, and I could not use it because I couldn't plug it up anymore. So this setup that I'm showing right here, it enabled me to plug all those real cameras, HDMI cameras, 1, 2, and 3, right? So I was able to plug in all those HDMI cameras into it, and I'm going to be plugging one more in, and that fourth one and final one is going to be, I hope, a Sony FX. I don't know which one I'm going to get, but my pocket wants me to get the Sony FX. I think 40, maybe. I don't know. Okay, let me go back to. Let's go to. I have it in my. Or I thought I had it in my cart. Why is this so big? Okay. Man, there's a lot of stuff in the cart. And who put all this stuff in the Amazon cart? Ah, yes, the FX30. The FX30 is the one that I'm looking at. Yeah. Are you serious? Oh, JJS Tech, it picks up the VSTs. Get the heck out of here. Oh, that is crazy. That is crazy. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for testing that. I'm mind blown right now. Mind blown right now. Are you kidding me? That's ridiculous. That's crazy. Nah, that's crazy. Yeah, you're man, this is a whole new world, man. The beta version, bro. I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying right with the beta version. I'm going right with the beta version, y'all. Like, I don't even see any reason why to use anything else. Yet, no. I can't do the 3, bro. My pocket don't stay like that. The FX30 is the one I'm gonna get. I can tell you that right now. Like, I'm definitely getting the one of the FX. That's my next purchase. Yo, my guy, Billy Thorpe is on the live. What's going on with you, sir? Thank you so much for being here. But yeah, Charles, I can't do the Sony FX3. That joint is expensive. It is expensive. Well, I shouldn't even say expensive. That's probably the wrong term to use. It is out of the range for what I need to do right this current moment. It's out of the range. Now, the difference between it and the the FX, the one that I'm going to get, is nominal. I mean, it's just a crop sensor, right? So I can take a couple steps back or don't use a prime lens and just kind of go with it from that perspective. So hopefully that makes sense. Man, that 24-70 lens is crazy. Yeah, it's gonna be yeah, that's gonna be the one. It's just not possible to do anything else. That FX30 is the one. All right, I like this vertical 3 stack. I normally do 2. May have to experiment with 3 cams. Hey, Billy, man, let me tell you, brother. I've made a couple of changes. So Billy, hey Billy. Now I know you probably can't see me because it's on the bottom. That camera is on the bottom, and so it I don't know, it might be covered by comments just depending on how the vertical stream does it. So let me move that back. Let me hide your comment. Let me see. Let me maybe move to this scene here. You got a live motion. Live motion is doing a thing. So yeah, Billy, man, I added another camera. Why? I've got to stop. I gotta really use my camera placeholders instead of selecting the actual camera, because that's gonna get me messed up, and I don't want to get messed up. Billy, how you doing, man? I hope you're doing good. Is it covered? Is what covered? Camera E. Let's put this to camera B. Is it covered? Dope movement. Yo, Jason Brown on the live. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us today. So Billy, this is the that It's not quite the page I was hoping to go for, but this is what I just recently added to the studio, the Sonnet Echo and the Blackmagic Design Decklink quad card. So that is enabling me to put a ton of more, well, I shouldn't say a ton. It frees up a lot of ports on my computer for me to be able to do more cameras than I was able to do before. So that's something I am excited about. And one of the cameras that I'm able to add is this one. This is the Sony a6000. I want y'all to know, like, this is a very old camera that you're looking at right now. You can get this camera, the Sony a6000. You could probably buy this on MPH or KEH. MPB MPB or KEH. You can probably buy this on, let me see here. Oh, look at that. A6000 right there. You can buy this for $450. It says like new. That for $414 even. $399. Look at that. You can buy this camera that you're looking at right now on pb.com for that much, and KEH has the A5100. I don't that joint is $379. Now I wouldn't necessarily get the 51, but my point is you got options. My point is you got options, and you could easily grab this camera. It's just a matter of getting the lens. The lens is probably going to cost you the same amount, if not a little more than the camera, because it's a Sigma 30mm lens. So the lens is can go on any one of my cameras. That's why I want to stay with the Sony lineup of bodies. That's why that FX that I was looking at there, that FX30, that's already in the cart. So I'm just trying to put my coins together. Okay. Let me see what I got here. Let me get my stuff back together. All right. Dope movement. Jason Brown says, always love when you come through, Doc. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming through. Cup Payton says, what do you stream on? I'm streaming. When you say, what do I stream on? What are you talking about? The platform? Because I'm using Ecamm right now. Ecamm Live is what I'm using currently, if that's what you're asking. If you're asking like what computer, this is the M4 Mac Mini, and so that's a whole thing. So if that's what you're asking, then I hope we're good to go on that. Any other questions, just let me know. So yeah, but yeah, that's what we're streaming on tonight. NA is on the live. NA is one of my moderators. Hey, I could have used you earlier, sis. We had some detractors in the chat. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Thorpe Creative says, Billy says, I've heard a lot about this setup. Yeah. This setup, man, it's rock solid. I did call Doc the other night because I couldn't get it going. And it turns out I actually got a bad card. Like right out of the box, the card was bad. So I ended up sending it back, getting another one. And now, life is good. But I spent like an hour and change on FaceTime with Doc, just chatting it up, really more so chatting it up, because we'd realized pretty quickly that my card was bad because we did all the right things. And it still just wasn't working. So he was just like, dude, you have a bad card. I was like, yeah, I agree. So, but yeah, that's hopefully that answers the question as well. What lens are you running? I did say that this is the 30mm lens, f1.4. You see that milky bokeh? I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I want more of it. Like this shot right here is like this shot. This shot is rivaling my primary shot, right? Like I like this shot. I think this shot is amazing, but man, this tight shot with the 30mm, it's a problem. It's a problem. It's a problem. It's a problem. That 30mm lens, it is hands down one of my favorite lenses, that 30mm lens. So I'm so glad that I'm able to add that to the setup now. it was there before, but as my top down shot. And so my top down shot has changed because I have the flexibility to do that now. Whoa, I haven't seen Bishop in a minute. It's good to see you, sir. Appreciate you coming through. You're at it again, showing us how it all works. What's good, Bishop? Geek Preacher. Bishop Geek Preacher. That one is new to me. Bishop Geek Preacher. But I'll take it, sir. Much love to you and the fam. Always good to see you come through and hang out with us. Yeah, man. Listen, we showing you how it all works. Showing you how it all works. I was talking earlier, Bishop, about making a slight pivot in my target audience. I'm going to just be a little more vocal, maybe a lot more vocal about being a person of faith, being a believer, and wanting to work with everyone. But I'm just hoping that as people know more that I am a believer, that, hey, I want to lead with that, right? Because truth of the matter is, over the number of years where I've been doing this, I've recognized that there is just there's a synergy. There is an ease in working with other believers. So that's the pivot. When you see the title of the live that says making a pivot, I think that's what the title of the live is. I'm not certain anymore. Let me go back to the thing here. No, it doesn't even show me what the title of the live is. But anyway, when you see that, that's what it was all about. I made that announcement earlier, showcased some things that I changed on the website, just some verbiage, some different things. Definitely going to be changing some stuff up as well. So excited about that. All right. Billy says, I have the Sony 15, 11, and Kit 16, along with the Sigma 16. That Sigma gives the 15 a run for its money. Let me be clear. I got a couple of the Sony lenses and sent them back. This Sigmas for me, I can't speak for anybody else. I can only speak for Kirk, but the Sigmas, man, they're just hard to beat, man. They just do so good. They do. Okay, so it looks like I answered your question then. Yeah, he says, yeah, app. I'm using Ecamm Live Pro and I love it. I love it, and it does such a great job for me. How much is the deck link setup? So you're looking at it. Actually, it's right underneath your comment right here. $299 for the actual expansion box, and then $545 for the quad card. So the DeckLink quad HDMI card. So what's that? $845? Yeah, $845. I mean, essentially, it's the cost of an ATEM with no buttons. But what the only reason why I recommend building out something like this is for the purpose of using it with Ecamm. So. And I think this is where, everybody has to kind of make their own decision in terms of what's going to work best for you. For many who are not using a platform like Ecamm that allows me to see all the cameras and put all the cameras, like this kind of scene right here, you can't do this with an A10 Mini. You just can't, because you don't have access to all the cameras at one time. You only have access to one camera at a time. So while I did have the A10 Mini Pro, I was able to switch between them. And Charles, I know you're probably gone, but Charles, we used to do this all the time at our church. We can cut between them, but you can only cut between them. You can't have all of them on screen at the same time. And so because that is something that I always like to do, I want to have access to all my cameras at any given time. I don't want to not have those cameras. So I'm coming back to this shot. And so here I can add in this one. 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 I've got 5 cameras in a vertical live stream right now. Why? Because I have access to all 5 cameras, because Ecamm has access to all of them because they're all plugged into the computer at the same time. I would not be able to do that if I did not have this device. And so that's why this device is critical for me, because I want to have access to all the cameras at the same time. Whereas, so yes, $845 is actually double the price of it. How much is the ATEM now? I don't remember. How much is it? Anybody? Anybody know how much the ATEM is? Let's go here. Mini Pro ISO. Let's see how much is the ATEM? Yeah, so it looks like about this Mini Pro ISO. So $500. So you're literally paying almost double, because you're $845, so not quite double, but anyway, you're paying almost $400 more for the setup that I'm talking about. And that, of course, doesn't make a whole lot of sense unless you have a use case for it. And so in my use case, I want all my cameras connected to the computer so that my streaming software, which in my case is Ecamm, has access to all of them. And that's where the difference comes in. So yeah, hopefully that answers the question. And so I see, let's go back over here. I see Cup Payton says I stream on StreamYard. And so StreamYard, I wouldn't do a setup like this on StreamYard, because StreamYard, there's no way for me to access all those cameras. You can only add one additional camera to the studio at a time. And even with that, there's not even like a way to select each camera on the Stream Deck, on a Stream Deck or anything. Like, there's no hotkey for it. So there's just no functional way to work in this kind of setup into your workflow if you're using something like a StreamYard. So again, just maybe if you're using StreamYard and you want to have multiple cameras, then a ATEM would work better, because it's going to give you that camera in your system, and then you can kind of just cut between them as you please. So those are some options. Just wanted to say those are some options. Billy says, I just sold the Sony 50mm 1.8. They look good, but I don't have the distance to make them work in my everyday workflow. I have a 50 on my ZV-E10 back there that's sitting on the gimbal. I have a 50mm on it, and you gotta back way up in order to record anything. That is for sure. So in my setup, can't make the 50 work, but this 30, that 30 is working. that 30 is working. That 30 is working, and it's not that far, but it's far enough to where it gives you the shot that it's just, yeah, it looks so great. All right. Two Giant Goofballs says, there he is, the man, myth, and legend. What up, sir? Listen, you come in with that kind of heat, you might get a bomb. You might go get a DJ air horn. I don't know what it is, but I appreciate that comment, sir. Thank you so much. Yo, V Wint is in the space. He says, yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. All right, cool. Jason Brown says, I need the video of how to put video in circle shape in StreamYard. That was dope. Yeah, you could do. I don't have that video out there. I thought I did. Okay. Listen, I don't believe in. I just realized that I'm gonna have to log out. Yeah, I'm gonna have to log out. All right, but yeah, let me log out here, and these guys still have the same video on here. That's crazy. I'm gonna try and log in. I thought I had that video up there somewhere. Let me go back to this, and so we can hide that comment real quick. And here. All right, so let's go back to the screen and let's enter the studio. Camera, this should be interesting. Okay, bad. It's not, I don't know if we're gonna be able to do a proper tutorial in the vertical mode in StreamYard. Yeah, not everything works in vertical, but I mean, you can see it though. I mean, you can see it. But the whole concept is you just want to set up. You can add your camera to the screen, and then when you go to I believe it is style, you can actually select the shape of your camera down here. So I can select round, and now my camera's round. Now, the other thing to do without going to style, if I go back to media assets, I can just go to, we'll just put it in there. You can select a custom layout. Let's go to this one and this one maybe. I guess I don't have one that already has a custom layout in it, but anyway. So I can just edit this one and then add another camera slot. Oh, hold up. I take it back. This one does have it in there. It's just that I don't have a second camera. So let's add a second camera. So boom, extra camera. Yeah, Insta360 link, share. And if I add that, now you have this one here. So now you have the circle. And it's just a matter of literally selecting circle as the shape of the camera, and then placing it wherever you want, and then saving. I'm going to update this layout. So now I have it saved. And once I'm out of the edit mode on the camera, on the layout, I can actually take this and just drag and switch them just like that. So yeah. Having the circle thing definitely works within StreamYard. There's no doubt about it. And to be honest, the whole setup, the whole design of what I've done here in Ecamm, I can also do that same design in StreamYard as well. So yeah, thank you for the question. Thank you for the challenge. Always up for a challenge. Thank you for that, Jason Brown. But I will make sure to go back through some of my videos and make sure that is a tutorial that I have. If I don't have it, I'm going to go ahead and create it, because that was an oversight on my part. All right, let's see what the other questions are here. See, we're talking cams. Anyone ever try the Razer Kaio Pyro Ultra? It's crazy to look at a $300 webcam, but looks like a mirrorless cam while having the portability. That's crazy. I have not tried that particular camera, but I will be making sure I look it up. The KIYO Pro. Okay. Nope, I don't think I got it right. Oh, Razer, here it is. $300. And you're saying that this joint is okay. AI powered imaging. Wow. So you have one of these, Two Giant? You have one of these? Because that's pretty dope. Definitely checking it out. Cool. Doc Bishara. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of comments coming through. So let me see if I can't catch up on some of these comments. All right. I love that pivot, Kirk. I am embracing a similar change myself. It is so needed for the body of Christ. Absolutely, sir. And so I'm excited about that. Just became very clear to me today that was something that I needed to do. So yeah. Excited about that. Let me get a couple more of these comments. Still here. The quad card makes the ATEM useless if you are using Ecamm. That's so true. Could not agree with you more. I'm way behind on my comments. Let me see if I can catch up. Is that then less taxing on your system resources with the ATEM or something similar? Yes. So yes, Park Bras, yes. The processing of so each capture card, man, they are major. Is a major tax on your system, on your computer, on all of the things. So each capture card really does require a good amount of resources. So putting everything in this box, let's go back to screen, putting everything in this box and having the deck link manage the cameras and just hand off the video, just the video, is handing off to Ecamm, handing off to my computer. So that has been a game changer for me, a game changer. I mean, I set this up in a client site, and we've been using it for well over a year. So it's rock solid. I haven't had any issues with it. Sorry, I haven't had any issues with it whatsoever. So that has been, I'm looking down here, my camera's up here, good night. But that has been another added benefit, is that I'm taking some of the processing off of my computer and putting it somewhere else. The ATEM will take some of that load off of your computer as well. So you have a lot of different functionality. Now, the ATEM takes way more load off of your computer than this particular scenario would, because the ATEM is only presenting one camera at a time, whereas this one is presenting all 4 cameras, even if they're not plugged in. So there is, you kind of have to weigh that there a little bit. But I just recently got the M4 Mac Mini. Smooth sailing for me, sir. Is it better than using 4 cam links? Absolutely better than using 4 cam links. That is for sure. I was using 3 cam links, had to go down to 2 because I wanted to plug up some webcams. It just anyway, I actually have gone through several cam links as well. I don't know how many of you have had that experience as well. I've had cam links just flat out go bad. Cam links that I didn't have for that long. So Blackmagic is a far more a widely recognized name in this space. So that Decklink card, it just runs and runs and runs and runs and runs. So I've had good experiences with it, and I thank you for the question. JJS Tech says, okay, I'm gonna go test the VSTs. Pull up when you're done. Man, I definitely am going to go check out your stream. If you're going live, I definitely have to go check out your stream. You said you were taking it down, I think. You said you were taking it down. Which one was this? I've got to go find that one, Jason. I want to go find it. I want to figure out what I did there, because I definitely want to make sure that tutorial is out there. I just use my phone and connect it to StreamYard, and I put my sub count, and that's how I stream. Okay. Hey, listen, you're this is why I love streaming. Everybody's going to do something slightly different, because I like to teach, because I like to showcase a lot of different things, because I like to do things kind of on the fly. Ecamm gives me the most flexibility to do that. That's why I use that platform. And then of course I just kind of bring in everything else with me. So but yeah, you're getting it done. So definitely continue to push forward. The operative word is done, Cup Peyton. So thank you so much for coming through and hanging out. And thank you for continuing to contribute to the conversation tonight. Jason says, cool, send me the link and I'll watch again. For sure. I will definitely do that. Once I find it, I'm going to send it through you, and we'll get you across the line. Always amazed by your one-man production skills, Kirk. Hey man, I appreciate that. Listen, that's another reason why I like to have some of these tools, because it does enable me to get a lot of things done, and that's where I like to be. It's got a Sony chip in it, so it's legit. Oh wow, I'm definitely interested in this camera. Okay, there it is. I was like, what happened to that camera? Why did it close? All right, we're back. I got to keep that tab up. I may even just add it to cart just to be sure. I am looking to get one soon, potentially. I record for long shows sometimes, and I travel sometimes. Yeah, that camera, I get, I travel a good bit. So being able to have something that's very compact and lightweight that I can move around with, that could be dope. It's almost 10 p.m. Central Time. You must be very tired now. It's almost 8 p.m. here. It's a good time to watch your life while having dinner. You got this. So I have an iron deficiency that causes me to yawn even when I'm not tired. So 9:51 it's 9:51 here in the Central Time Zone. This is I will get off of this live and still stay up for another couple of hours. The yawning has nothing to do with being tired, but it's just something that I will share with people from time to time. In fact, One person even said to me, like, you yawn uncontrollably and you live stream, like, that's crazy. I'm like, yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. And yeah, I don't know. For some reason, my audience seems to be okay with it. We'll see what happens. Is the A6000 still a good choice in 2025 for budget conscious creators? Yes, I would say yes. Just look, it's one of those things where it's like, I mean, what are you, depending on what you're trying to save towards and depending on what you're trying to do. So here's the clincher. I have the Sony A6400 on in front of me here, and then up here, the Sony A6000. These cameras are never going to move from where they are. And because of the price point that they are, I don't have to worry about it being a waste of money. Now, if I was to take my Sony FX35 or one of these kinds of devices and try to put it on the tripod and sit there just to do talking head videos, that would be the craziest waste. Like Sony A7, I mean, that would be the craziest waste of money. Why? Because the camera can do so much. Run and gun, vlog content, put it on a gimbal, put it on a shelf, whatever. The camera can do so much. So why would you put that camera on a tripod? For me, I think the 6600, the 6400, like, do you know that the A6400 still maintains its price? So let me put you on game. 6400. Now you said the A6000, I know, but just check this out. That's $748 for the Sony A6400. For the 6400. That's the camera that my main camera here. The 6400 is $748. Okay? And the where is it? Wrong a blank. No, not that one. The Sony ZV-E10 Mark I is about the same price. No, not the two. So these are the two. Look at that. There it is. $698. It's cheaper. The Sony ZV-E10 first generation is cheaper than the Sony A6400. We're talking like almost, I want to say 10 years. I don't know if it's quite 10 years difference between the two, but they maintain their price. They maintain their validity. I will not move either of these cameras. And so when you say for cost conscious creators, I think we also have to not only think of it from a cost conscious standpoint, you have to think of it from a use case standpoint. Like, most content will be like this. I'll put the camera there, I hit the record button, I deliver what I want to deliver, I hit the stop button, I send it to the editor, they edit the video, we post it to YouTube. That's most of the content. Like, let me go to this other shot here. This camera, the most I will do is just turn to this other camera and speak to the camera and record that piece. And that camera, it's okay, in my opinion, to just have it sit there, record, or give me this particular camera angle. I'm never gonna move it because it does not do well in outdoors. It does not do well for vlog content. It does not have in-body image stabilization, so it doesn't have IBIS. It doesn't belong on a gimbal. You don't want to put it in a cage and start adding all kinds of rigs to it. It's not meant for that. So these cameras are your talking head cameras. And so because that's what they're good for, you're better off, real talk, utilizing a camera like this. You don't want to spend $1,500 or $2,500 on a camera that's going to sit on a tripod and just do that. Now, some people have that kind of money, but I don't. So for me, it's more than just being a cost conscious kind of a deal. It's an issue of use case. I'm looking at the FX30 because I want it to be out and about with me. I wanted that. That's what I'm going to have in the bag. That's the one I'm going to have at the conference. That's the one I'm going to have on the gimbal. That's the one I'm going to have doing handheld camera work. Like, that camera can do all of the above and then some. Not so much these cameras. So for the talking head, I mean, I'm not going to spend $1,800 to just have the camera sit on a tripod and do that. Now, will I add it to the setup here? Absolutely. That's why that fourth port is on that deck link card, right? That fourth port is for that camera. But I will set it up and break it down and walk back out with it, right? Because that camera, I need that level of flexibility. So this set that I have here for the podcast, with the couch and the chair and the 3 mics, that set is already ready to go. Let me show you something real quick. Literally had some of my guys come through yesterday and install lights above the on the ceiling there, so you can kind of get a better feel for what that joint looks like when it's fully lit. Listen, I'm having too much fun. I know. We're having way too much fun. Let me go back to let's go back to the 3 cams. I know I'm missing some comments here. Let me hear. Yeah, here we go. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. If you buy it and do a video on it, tag me. I definitely will. But I don't know if I'm gonna get it. I got to be honest with you. But it depends. Maybe I might have a client project or something, and if I can weasel it into the price, I can definitely go ahead and cop one. So we'll see how that goes. Let's move this to this. And all right. I'm still using my Sony ZV-1. I'm behind, LOL. No, you're not behind. You are in good shape, in my opinion. The Sony ZV-1 is a great camera. It's just depending on what you're using it for. I just opened StreamYard for the first time in about 8 months. Definitely loving Ecamm. Sorry, StreamYard. I love Ecamm. I love Ecamm. I got a Logitech C920, so you got me beat, Jason. Produce quality content and you will be successful than someone with top of the line equipment but bad content, or better yet, no content. Like, real talk. I know people who have tens of thousands of dollars worth of equipment and they still don't create any content. So it is what it is. Whatever helps you to get it done. That's what I like to say is the main thing. If you have any cost conscious editors, please send my way. That would save me a lot of time. I don't know any cost conscious editors. So I don't know how to put it anyway. My editors are in the Philippines and I'm actually getting ready to onboard one who lives in India. But when cost conscious the pendulum swings so wildly. I had a client be like, yeah, I was looking to get something edited. Can you find somebody that will do it relatively inexpensive for me? I was like, what's your definition of inexpensive? And he's like, well, maybe $600-700 per video. I was like, oh yeah, I got you covered. Because in my mind that's expensive. but everybody has a different definition of what expensive is. All right, but yeah, definitely. If I come across some numbers, I will let you know. I will definitely let you know. And Anthony says, hey, I'm still in the phone crew and you're getting it done. So you're good to go. How much is the thing that you change from your 3 cameras to Amazon? How much is the thing that you change from your 3 cameras? Oh, you talking about the Stream Deck? I'm not certain. Cup Peyton, talk to me. Yeah, now, I didn't bring up this part either, but that is absolutely that is absolutely a possibility. Low cost editing equals poor work. I mean, and again, if you will have a minimal edit, you might be in good shape. Have you done a video on AI video editing? I have not. I'm not a fan. I know people are saying, oh, it's getting so good, it's getting so much better. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan at all. I'd much rather just drop it on the timeline and do a very basic edit than to have AI edit it. I'm just not a fan. Yeah, just not a fan. All right. Okay, so here's one more, and then I'm going to showcase some stuff, and I'm going to get out of your way. I see that Rodecaster. I want one of them bad, using the pod mic on a Mackie Pro. Oh wow, which is nice too, but I want the Procast. So yeah, let me tell you, the Rodecaster and the pod mic, it's like a match made in heaven. I recently set up something for a client, and the pod mics are $99, so it was just a no-brainer to go with those. She wanted to set up a 4-person podcast space in her office building, and so pod mics, Rodecaster Pro. You hit that. There's a pod mic button on the Rodecaster Pro. Boom, hit that. Psh, that thing is so dialed in. You would think that you had an audio engineer come in and actually tweak your sound like that. It's just that good. So definitely something to look into. Bishara says, I started with the Lumix G7. That's a dope camera. I started with the Lumix G7 for YouTube and some basic photography. It's been good. Also on a tripod for my son's soccer games. I'm gonna tell you right now, that Lumix, that color science, the bokeh on those limit, I can always tell when somebody's using a Lumix. The quality just looks a little bit different, But the issue I had with at least the earlier Panasonics was the autofocus. Was non-existent. So you would have to, you'd have to put that bug on manual. So like, I'm going to do this real quick, and you can see, this is the A6000. So the autofocus is a little bit slow, but it'll pick it up, and we're back. It'll pick it up. So, it'll figure it out. All right. This is what I was going to showcase. I'm going to put this in the middle camera. And I'm going to kind of, I'll show you what this desk looks like up close. If I can include in switcher, that one. And we got it. We get this here, move this here, move this here. And so here we go. So this is what this looks like. I'm just going to move a little bit slower. So what I was able to do is, so you can see the Rodecaster Pro 1 there, but you can also see another one over there, right? My desk is wild. But I have 2 monitors on 2 of those Huanuo desk mount arms. So those are kind of going back over the desk, so there's space in between the desk. Or let me say, the monitors are kind of more pointing towards the Elgato prompter in the middle, as opposed to just kind of being straight over the desk. So I get a lot of my desk space back because those arms have the monitors off of the desk a little bit. So that's one cheat code. Another thing is that with the Rodecaster Pro is on that arm as well. So it's kind of suspended off of the desk, and I can push it out like this one. It's just over the desk a little bit, but I can push it out and I can again get my desk space back. So for unboxings and whatever else, I can still do them right here on this desk because I have the, I have that set up. I have those arms set up in the way that I do. Even the Mac Mini is off to the side there on another little table, and everything's plugged into it. I have the base for the Mac Mini. I just recently grabbed that, and it has a 1 terabyte drive in it. So even though I got the base model M4 Mac Mini, 16 gig of RAM, 256 hard drive, I am able to, save whatever I need to, because that 1 terabyte drive, it's rocking and rolling. It's rocking and rolling right now. So I'm good. I'm in good shape. 2 monitors, 1 4K, 1, I have no idea. It's a Scepter monitor. It was VESA mountable, so I just said, okay, I'll grab it. Just looking to add it to my setup. This one, however, gives me true color, LG monitor. So dope. You can see a little bit better that Sony A6000 is there, and of course I'm covering myself with the phone right now, but you can see that Sony A6000 is there, and then you can see the A6400 right there. There's the Elgato prompter. this is the Insta360 link. All right, that's the Insta360 link. This is the Rode NTG shotgun mic, and I also have the MV7X. Also, I'm using right now the Shure SM7B, and I think nope, those are the 3 mics. Then over here, of course, yeah, you can still see me. Over here is the Sony A7 II. It's just got a kit lens on it, but that's what I'm using for this other shot. That is the Lilliput 10.1 inch 4K monitor, the Lilliput A11. That was my teleprompter screen for years and years, and then Elgato dropped this prompter that I had to get. I held off as long as I could. I really did try, y'all, but I couldn't hold off any longer. Other thing that I wanted to showcase, and I don't even know what this looks like, is we just added, oh dope, you can see that. We just added these lights yesterday to the studio. And so those lights are just 2 soft boxes, but they're giving me good light for this back set, this studio set here for the podcast. And we have 2 SM58 mics, and then that middle mic is the Nexodyne that I got from Shure when I went to Shure's Creator Summit last year. I hope I get to go this year. I don't know if I'll be selected, but that's an engraved mic with my signature and my How It All Works logo on it. I was showcasing earlier that I can control the webcam. These are the Ecamm screens. These are the Ecamm windows that allow me to control my webcam. So you can see right there, it says Insta360 link. I don't know why it's out of focus. Let me come down a little bit. I don't know. And then you can see there HP HD Pro webcam C920. So those are it. That's the setup right now. And the space actually enables me to have am I going into 360 link? That's what I want to do. It enables me to have three totally different setups. I'm going to turn off the continuity cameras, how I connect my phone in, y'all. Just a FYI, in case somebody's like, what in the world did you just do? I connect my phone in using continuity camera. And as soon as I do that, Ecamm picks it up and it's good to go. And as long as I have on wireless, it should be fine. But it gives me a number of different setups. So one of the setups is, of course, the setup that you're looking at now with the wide shot. I want to go back to the wide shot. So this setup is my primary setup. This is where I record most of my videos and everything like that. But I'm so glad to be able to add this tight shot, which is just off of that other camera, but it's not in the shot. So I have these two totally defined looks that are different. Then I get the top down, but with that top down shot, I have all these other presets that I can go to very quickly. So there's one, what up? And then there's two, which gives you that side. And then there's the third one, which gives you the other side. So I have these defined setups, these presets already defined, and I can hit the Stream Deck to get that. I don't know why I switched that camera. So that was this, you got two cameras looking at the same thing. And then you have this other setup. So this is a whole different setup, because right now my desk is in the shot. Actually, I prefer a little more of the desk than what it was currently giving. I don't know. Maybe I hit it earlier or something. But anyway, I prefer to have a little more of the desk than what it was currently showing a second ago. But this is a defined shot as well. So this is like almost a whole different set, because my desk becomes the set for this shot. And then I can also turn my back directly to the screen and get another setup that way as well. So you have that set. And then, of course, lastly, not that one. Lastly, you have this other set back here. And so that is a whole other set right in just from this one studio space. I'm able to have completely different and defined setups to be able to record in and still use this main desk to control Ecamm and everything else that I've got rolling. That's the reason for the two Rodecaster Pros, by the way, is that this first one off to the side here is running everything on the desk, my current setup, whereas this one here is running everything for that setup back there. So I only plug this up when I need to record something back there. So that's it. And I hope that was useful for you guys, man. It's been really dope hanging out with you guys tonight. I'm going to go ahead and lay it down. Well, I'm actually just going to we'll go kiss these kids and get some things set up. But that is the setup for tonight. That is the setup. And that's the setup and that's the pivot. That's all of the things. Yes, Stream Deck. Yes, Stream Deck in the front of your keyboard. That's what it is. So you were asking, how much is it? How much is the Stream Deck? Yeah, let's take a look. Thank you for the question. I still got some time, so let's take a look. I've got that up. I don't remember how much the Stream Deck is at this point. Let me see if I can find it. I have it in one of these setups. Yeah, this one. Oh, by the way, this is the dock I got for the Mac Mini M4. In case somebody's interested, it does work well. And if you buy it with this hard drive, then you got 1 terabyte of space, and that's pretty dope. This is it right here. So the Elgato Stream Deck XL is 222. Let's see. 222. I wonder if there's another model or something like that that's a little bit cheaper. Nope. But yeah, that's the Stream Deck. And I can't remember if you said you're using StreamYard or not. Cup Peyton. I don't remember if you were saying you were using StreamYard or not. I think you are, but it does work with StreamYard as well. Not as much functionality, but it does work. So it will do the job. It will do the job for you. You guys are. Oh my word. Okay. You guys are having too much fun. All right. Yeah. All right. No. I was going to upgrade to the Shure SM7B. Would that be a mistake then? I was going to upgrade to the Shure SM7B. Would that be a mistake? Either that or the Electro Voice RE20. Actually, I really do like the SM7B. I do like it. I like its sound. I like how it, what it does with my voice. But I actually prefer the MV7X. I don't know. Somebody told me that there's something wrong with mine because nobody else's sounds like mine. I don't know what I did. I'm not changing it. I'm not selling it. I have taken this mic off of the mic stand multiple times. So let's get test. Yeah. I have taken this mic off of the mic stand multiple times and ended up having to put it back because I just didn't like the audio I was getting from whatever I replaced it with. I have the MV7 Plus sitting over there collecting dust. Well, I shouldn't say that. I bring it to the desk if I have somebody else that I'm doing a show with. Like if my wife's here, I'll use the SM7B, and then that mic when we have, because that's why I have this 4-port, 4 input Rodecaster Pro first edition here, because I have all these mics plugged up. I have this mic plugged up, SM7B plugged up, shotgun mic plugged up, and I have that MV7 Plus that I can plug up anytime. So that's why I have it. But this mic, it just, I don't know. I don't know what happened to it. I don't know why, but I just love the way my voice sounds on this particular mic. So the MV7X is and it's cheaper. It's actually way cheaper than the SM7B. So that's the one I would recommend if you have XLR based setup anyway. because this mic doesn't have USB whatsoever. That's why it's cheaper. So if you have an XLR based setup, this mic is the one. In my opinion, it's the one. But I'm hoping to get a couple other mics into the studio here pretty soon. Yep. Got some gear coming in, some brand deals that we have signed our lives away for. So we'll see what happens. Oh my word. 2 of them. Greedy. Hey man, listen, it is what it is. I put my Mackie on a laptop stand. Yes, there you go. And that puts it a nice angle and conserve space. Nice way of saving desk space for like $5. Totally agree. That's what I have set up for both of them, because it just worked out better that way. built like NASA station. We're going to the moon tonight. Veritcal says set up goals. Thank you so much, y'all. I'm glad. Sorry for all the typos, BTW editing while watching. No, we're having a good time. Thank you so much for rocking with us. It's always better when there's people actually hanging out on the live. So thank you so much for hanging out tonight. Now I'm inspired to turn on EVMux to practice my skills with creating some new scenes. I think you should. And I will say, these scenes that you're seeing me use right now, I actually did make available. So for those that are interested, let me see if I can, will I remember this? Yeah, I did remember it. Okay, so this is a page on my website, kirkarnugent.com/scenes. I'm going to put this link in the comment section right now, for any of you, because if you're using EVMux or Ecamm, I actually go through in this video. I go through how to the video that's right here. This little, I know it's a little small, but that's the video. If you click play on that video, I walk you through how to set up these scenes, the ones that I'm using right now. These actual scenes, you can actually grab them, and then of course you have a couple other things on the page that you can check out. But if you put your name and email address right here, you can actually download these scenes, the ones that I'm using right now, for your setup, whether it be for Ecamm or for EVMux. So something to think about. All right. Gary Jones is on the live. What's going on, sir? Thanks. Very informative. Thank you so much. So he says, how does it work? How does the Stream Deck work? I'm using StreamYard. Yes, you will want the Stream Deck. It's a game changer. Yes, Park Braz is absolutely correct. I'm using StreamYard. So do I still have it open? I don't. The hotkeys that you have in StreamYard, you would simply set up the hotkeys as Stream Deck buttons, and those functions of StreamYard you would be able to do. I think the best thing for me to do is to show you, or I should say point you to the video where I actually do the setup. Yep. That's not it. Stream Deck, StreamYard plus Stream Deck. This video right here. Share. Copy link. So, Cup Peyton, am I saying your name right? I hope I am. That link is for you. That video walks you through the entire StreamYard and Stream Deck setup. So, hopefully you can check that out. And, hopefully you can check that out and grab what you need from there. Because I think it will be super useful. If you're in streaming at all, having a Stream Deck is like having a whole nother hand. It's just being able to do things a lot quicker. And there's a number of other hacks there as well, so you can be able to look into some of those. I'm using Stream Deck for work. Yep, navigating different websites. I haven't gotten into Google Sheets but I have definitely looked into using it with DaVinci Resolve. I've looked into using it with a couple other platforms as well. Stream Deck is powerful. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I keep thinking of switching to EV Mux and dumping StreamYard after they doubled their price. I'm just scared of change because it works and I'm used to using it, to be honest. Hey, at least you're honest. And I'll be honest with you, man. This is why I believe in the trial period. And not just doing the trial period for the sake of, like, because most people, what they do is they'll get the trial period and then they'll forget, and then the trial period will expire and they haven't actually tried it. And I think that's what I would recommend heavily is putting some time on your calendar to try out EV Mux, to try out actually creating some scenes, to actually do a live stream, to get a real feel of what EV Mux is like. Put some time on the calendar and then sign up for the trial version. I'm not saying you should leave StreamYard. Truth be told, their prices have come almost all the way back down to what they were before. But for many people, it was just like, the sliminess of how they went about doing the price hike that many people just can't get with. And I agree with that. I really believe that there is a way that they could have grandfathered in. I know that that's not the proper term, but they could have, had these legacy accounts, and then everybody from a certain date forward, you get the new prices. But for those of us who had been rocking with StreamYard all this time, it's like there's no brand loyalty. You just kind of increase all of us. So I really feel like they could have done that differently. And I know a lot of people are in that category. They're like, yo, I'm up. I'm not. Even if StreamYard gets to where it's cheaper than some of these other platforms, I'm never going back. I have a coaching client that has told me that like multiple times. She's like, I'm never going back, just because of the way that they handled that price hike. So, but I'm just simply saying, if you're comfortable with StreamYard, you like how StreamYard works, and you already know yourself, and you're saying that you're change averse. So give yourself a long runway to be able to test out EV Mux, if that ends up being one of the ones you want to try, or even Ecamm for that matter. I can't tell you how many people I've moved over to Ecamm because they're just like, okay, so I can get a Mac for $500. Okay. I already have a monitor. I already have a keyboard. I have a mouse. All I'm going to use it for is streaming. So I'm going to buy this Mac, put Ecamm on it, and learn Ecamm Live. And in the process, they end up, because who doesn't have an iPhone, right? So they end up realizing that there's so much more on the Mac that they have that they already had in common, because they already had the iPhone. So they already have the Apple ID. They already have, there's a number of things that you already, if you have an iPhone, you already have some of the basic functionality for a Mac already set up. So that has happened more times than I can count. But my point is, set up a scenario for you to be able to test it out thoroughly, and so that you can make an informed decision. You may end up, after testing EV Mux or even Ecamm for that matter, decide, nope, I'm staying with StreamYard. And that's okay, because then you can say, I tested it, I actually gave it a real shot, and it isn't going to do what I want it to do, and it doesn't give me the same flexibility as I'm looking for, and so I'm staying with StreamYard. I have business clients who, they didn't even miss a beat. They never even considered leaving StreamYard because it just checks the boxes for them, and I'm able to produce the shows. They're just like, hey, we're staying with StreamYard. I was like, sure, whatever. So I always knew I would have access to StreamYard because I have business clients who couldn't care less. As far as they're concerned, what StreamYard was charging is a drop in the bucket. If this is all under their marketing campaign anyway, so marketing funds are a little different depending on the size of the company. So those are some of the things that I would definitely consider if you're looking to really check out something else. Cup Payton, thank you for coming through tonight. Thanks. Now you help me get better at streaming and more stuff to have a better stream. I love that. That's what we're all about, man. Thanks for the link. Hey, my absolute pleasure. Stephanie, is that Stephanie? Is that my friend Stephanie Garcia? What is going on, sis? Always good to have you come through. Listen, Stephanie's a rock star. I don't know how many of you guys are still rocking with us over on Instagram, but Stephanie is a rock star, and I'm always excited to have her come through and hang out with us. Definitely overdue to have you come and hang out with us on on the channel here. New owners don't care about us legacy people, in my humble opinion. Listen, that's just, you can say that 10 toes down with your full chest. That's not even a humble opinion. That joint is the real. They don't care about anything. They care about the almighty dollar, and that is it. And they made that very clear with the entire way that they've gone about this whole thing. If you have questions, reach out to me. I also went from StreamYard to Ecamm, and I am new to creation. So Park Braz is looking to set himself up as a resource as well. So fam, hit him up. He's also made that transition as well. I think there are wiser ways to do it than maybe I did, but I'm just simply saying, set yourself up for success. And to be able to make an informed decision. I think that's the main thing. But again, pulling from people's experiences like Park Braz, like myself, Dr. Bashara made the switch over to EV Mux. You know, so many different people have done this thing. Yeah, there it is. Bashara saying it right there. Which I switched from StreamYard to EV Mux. I just sat and watched Kirk's training playlist and figured it out in about 2 hours. Wow. I need to just schedule some time with Dr. Bashar to get him to do a testimonial for me, because this guy says, I love this stuff. You can't find this stuff anywhere. It's like, my God, I love my community. I absolutely love you guys. I love what I get to do. I love that I get to serve you guys like this. Okay. And I love to see the back and forth as well. That's what community is. The answers don't always have to come from me. We just hold space here to be able to talk about this kind of thing. So excited about that. My guy GP is in the chat. He said boycott StreamYard. Ecamm gang in the building. Come on. Can't do Ecamm on PC, right? That's correct. I just bought a very expensive Lenovo, so definitely going to stick with that. No worries. Yep. No worries. No worries. I'm told that vMix has changed the name of their company. I don't know. My wife would love it if I do. She is an Apple gal. Hey, listen, it is what it is. Oh yeah, Ecamm is Mac only. That is correct. True. Max the trials in real life situations. StreamYard new management hemorrhaged accounts after that unbelievable price hike. Not well thought out, especially their legacy accounts. Options are good. I will say they have definitely walked back some of it, but I think it's one of those things where it's like too little too late, because none of us really care anymore that you have actually made some of those changes, because yeah, we've already gouged us, so we don't want to be there, and we don't want to play. We want to take our toys and go home. All right, fam. Listen, I have gone way over the time I intended to be on, but this was absolutely fun. I'm glad to be able to share, glad to be able to answer questions. I hope that you guys can come and check us out on Wednesday for the coaching corner. A lot of good content. Listen, I just dropped a video on Sunday on my channel talking about 5 things that live show moderators must do. Like, these 5 things could make or break your live show. And if you're new to streaming, new to live content, live show hosting, that kind of thing, and you don't even know what I need to look for in a moderator, definitely this is a video that you want to check out. If for nothing else, even if you're not in a space where you need a moderator right now, you may want to just bookmark this video and check it out later. You can always find any of the content that I have on my website, howitallworks.com. I'm going to drop that in the comment section right now. Boom, it is there. Then I'm just going to bring it up on screen so that you can see that. Boom. Sponsor Magnet Masterclass. Let me say this as well. Our normal behavior is that the masterclass is available for 24-hour replay, but at the request of my guest presenter, we're leaving this masterclass out there forever. Everybody's able to watch it and access it. So definitely, if you have not checked that out, you want to attract brands and sponsors to your content and have them support you financially, you want to check out this masterclass. Like, there's so much gems. I had a call with somebody earlier today, and I sent them the link to this masterclass saying, hey, we just talked about sponsorships on this masterclass. You should check this out. My brand deal coach, Justin Moore, aka Brand Deal Wizard, is the guy that we had on the class. And The guy emailed me back right before I went live tonight saying, yo, I watched that and it was phenomenal. Like, I didn't even know that kind of content was available for free. Like, I thought you had to, that kind of content would be behind a paywall. So, definitely something I want to make sure you guys get a chance to check out. 5 live mod actions. You want to make sure you check out that video as well. Some good content. Come back on Wednesday for the coaching corner with me, and we will chop it up. We'll get some questions answered. We will hopefully move you across the line. I see you, Gary Jones says the masterclass was fire. Thank you so much. Antoine Speller's on the live. Thanks for sharing. I not only learned how to stream, but to be a better person all around. I love that, Antoine Speller. Thank you so much for being with us tonight as well. Thank you as always, Kirk. Glad I was able to catch you live. I don't always get to thanks to regular work. Hey, listen, I'm glad you were here tonight. The back and forth dialogue was helpful, and I think it was helpful to anybody that was watching live and will watch this on the replay as well. So thank you. And I want to say shout out to, I know most people watch on YouTube, but I want to say shout out to those who are watching on Facebook, and for those who are watching on Instagram. I always like streaming. Whenever I'm doing vertical, I like making sure that I'm streaming to all of the above, and I'm glad that we were able to do that tonight. And I always love the fact that I get all the comments from all the different platforms here in Ecamm. Bishop Donald Oliver has our last comment of the night and says, Studio Coast developed vMix. Who knew? Who knew? I didn't know either. So, but I'm told that they've got a rebrand coming up. Some things are on the horizon with vMix. So there may be some additional options to people like, what's your boy's name? Two Giant Goofballs. There may be some additional options because vMix is basically it's the Ecamm counterpart, look-alike. I don't know what to call it, but it's the Ecamm of Windows. And so it definitely, in my opinion, it feels like it has a steeper learning curve than Ecamm does, but at least you have that level of functionality. So something to consider. I want to say a word of thanks to each and every one of you for coming and hanging out tonight. It truly was my pleasure to be your host for this wild ride. 2 hours of it, and was vertical, so that's always fun as well. Grace and peace, fam. It's your boy Kirk Nugent, the Geek Speaker Preacher. Thankful for your time and attention. We'll see you around these internet streets or in the next video. Later.